Ladies and gentlemen, breaking news. The Pittsburgh Steelers got their quarterback.
They have signed a quarterback. The first move that they make during the legal tampering period, I suppose, is actually signing a quarterback. No Jimmy G. No Deshaun Watson.
No Marcus Mariota. No Tyrod Taylor. No Teddy Bridgewater.
No Jacoby Brissett.
It is the former number 2 overall selection from the Chicago Bears, Mitchell Trubisky, or now Mitchell Trubisky, as everyone's saying on social media now.
Right.
He is now a Pittsburgh Steeler, or expected to be a Pittsburgh Steeler, as he has agreed to terms on a 2-year deal with the Pittsburgh Steelers, to which it will be completely official this upcoming Wednesday when the new league year officially begins.
For us, if you guys watched our SteelTwins Saturday night where we talked about the Steelers free agency wish list that we had, it was between Mariota or Trubisky for me. And it turned out to be Mitchell Trubisky, and I actually really like this move. Now, I'm not going to overhype Trubisky. I'm not going to say, this guy's the future. This guy's going to lead us to Super Bowl. He's not that type of quarterback.
No, he's not the quarterback that's going to be our quarterback for years to come or for the next decade. He's not that guy, and I don't think he will be that guy. But when you talk about a bridge quarterback, a fill-in, someone that fits exactly what the Steelers were looking for when it comes to quarterback this year, Trubisky literally fits all aspects of that.
You look at every factor that Trubisky brings to the team. You got the mobility that Tomlin and Colbert in the front office have been crying for pretty much the entire offseason. You have the first-round pedigree that they're looking for. You have a guy with a winning record. You have a guy that can lead the team to the playoffs. You have a guy that will keep the team within winning contention, that will keep the team competitive.
A guy that's a veteran that's been around the league for the better part of 5 years.
And you have a guy to compete with someone like Mason Rudolph. And that's everything that Trubisky holds and everything that he will bring to this team. And that is exactly why I really like this signing. In fact, I got a little too hyped when the news was announced. I was just sitting down watching NFL Network. They're talking about the Chiefs and Pats. And then on the bottom news alert thing, it says breaking news, shows the Steelers logo, it says Trubisky. And I start freaking out because it was one of the few guys I actually wanted them to grab at the quarterback position.
And hey, we got him. 2 years. I don't think the money or the amount of money has been announced yet. I'm really curious to see exactly how much they're going to be paying him for 2 years. But nonetheless, I like this signing. I like this deal. I'm a fan of it. I really am. Someone that's, again, not going to be the successor to Ben. He's not.
No.
But if you were to ask me, though, for best case scenario for Trubisky, maybe this is another Ryan Tannehill type of story.
That's best case scenario. I've always said that the Steelers is the best place for second chances, and this is the best time for Trubisky to get that. He was drafted number 2 overall by the Bears, and we all know the career he had. He was under Matt Nagy and his horrible system, which saw very little success. Then he signed a 1-year deal as the Bills backup behind Josh Allen and a Brian DeBall offense and a Sean McDermott coaching staff and coaching scheme, and thus now he's going to arrive in Pittsburgh, compete with Mason for a second chance at a new lease on life for himself. And that's another reason why I like this signing. I'm not saying he's a successor. I doubt it. I see this as nothing more than just a bridge guy. And I really like the 2-year deal because as of now, he is the only quarterback signed through the 2023 season. So not only does that give us a bridge guy for this year to compete with Mason, that gives us a quarterback for after this upcoming season under contract to be still a potential starter or backup or compete with a rookie if we were to go after a guy in 2023, or still be that, I suppose, temporary fill-in if the Steelers were to still draft a guy in the first round this year. I'm not ruling out quarterback in the draft.
No. This does not rule out quarterback completely. But at least they have a capable starting guy that's not Rudolph, to which I wouldn't mind Rudolph starting. I don't really think he's as bad as many people seem to think he is.
Right.
But Trubisky is obviously much better, and I prefer Trubisky, and I'm glad Trubisky is a Steeler to be at least a bridge guy. At least that's what I'm expecting. I don't, because I said earlier, I see this at best being another Tannehill story because we know how Tannehill was when he was with Miami, when he was with the Dolphins, and then he went to Tennessee, got a new lease on life, basically got Marcus Mariota out of Tennessee, and Tannehill's been the Tennessee starter ever since. He's been caliber enough. He's been very good for the Titans.
And again, that's best case scenario with Trubisky.
But I don't see that.
But I'm
not going to get my optimism too high about that. As of now, and what I'm expecting is nothing but a bridge quarterback type of guy that Trubisky is.
But I'm willing to give Trubisky the chance, and that's exactly what the Steelers are doing. Plus, this adds flexibility for the draft. I'm not rolling out quarterback, but say a guy like Malik Willis isn't there, a guy like Kenny Pickett or a Matt Corral or whoever these quarterbacks are, Howe or Ritter. You know, this gives them flexibility to go other positions in the draft now that they have secured a quarterback that is capable of starting and competing next year.
Yeah.
So I really like this.
I'm a fan of this. I really am.
In fact, I might be a little bit too hype on this. Ask him. I was actually
No, he was jumping. He was doing jumping jacks and shit. I'm not even
I was
kidding.
marking out a little bit. I ain't gonna lie. Just because this was one of the few guys I wanted us to grab at the quarterback position, a guy that can compete with Mason. That's one of the few things I wanted them to do this offseason. I'm not expecting too much from Colbert. I mean, we all hope for all these things to happen, but it's still Colbert and the Steelers front office via free agency. I'm not expecting too much, but all I wanted was a guy to bring in to compete with Mason, and that's what we got, and I'm very happy for that.
And I'm fine with that. I am absolutely content with that.
And again, a guy like Trubisky looking for a second chance, a possible new lease on life, I'm going to be very, very cautiously optimistic. But as of now, this is a bridge quarterback, gives us more flexibility for free agency and the draft. I like this a lot, man. How you guys feel in the chat? Mitchell Trubisky is coming to the Pittsburgh Steelers.
And Trubisky, welcome to Pittsburgh, bro.
Oh, no.
I'm really interested and excited to see how he does in a new lease on life, a new scenery in the NFL. I really am. And I would say a better coaching staff.
Of course, a better coach.
I know. Matt Canada, I know.
I was say offensively, I don't know about that.
Yeah, because Matt Canada is still our OC, and I'm not really all there with Canada.
But at least Trubisky is a guy that fits the scheme. So that could lead to some success on both sides. Fingers crossed.
And I feel like Trubisky in Chicago and Matt Nagy, he did the best he could.
Right.
I mean, Matt Nagy never put his players in the best situations to succeed anyway. And Trubisky was able to do what he could.
Right.
I'll give him that. But hey, Trubisky's a Steeler. I'm cool with that. I really am.
I really like this. And the fact it's a 2-year deal really sweetens it a little bit because it ensures us.
That's what I was expecting, too. I really was.
Right. But the first move that Colbert and company make during the legal tampering period is a quarterback.
And hey, they had to. They really needed to.
And they get a guy, like I said, brings everything that they want in a quarterback. I've already mentioned it.
Yeah.
So everything that they want in a quarterback this year, Trubisky brings that to the team. I like this a lot. Let's see what's going on in the chat, man. Holy hell, I didn't expect to go a lot tonight. I didn't expect this to happen. I didn't expect an immediate move from Colbert because normally via the free agency period, Colbert kind of waits for all the big guys to get signed, and then he fills in some of the other guys, some of the scraps, some of the underrated, undermining signings like they normally do.
Steelers don't go out there and immediately obtain or sign a guy.
But they did today with Trubisky, and more could come out. I don't know yet.
And when you look at the free agency quarterback pool, Trubisky is basically the best guy available, if you ask me.
Arguably.
So, I mean, they picked out the best guy, so.
They wanted to grab him quick. I heard it was either between the Giants and the Steelers. And obviously, the Steelers is probably the best place for him under a guy like Mike Tomlin. So it was a no-brainer for Trubisky. It was a no-brainer for the Steelers to grab a guy like Trubisky, man. Man, I'm really liking this. I'm going to be very, very cautiously optimistic. Best case scenario, it's like a Ryan Tannehill 2.0 type of deal. But bridge quarterback for this upcoming year to compete with Mason and give us flexibility for the draft and secure a quarterback after this upcoming season.
Exactly.
Man.
We'll see what happens, though. But let's see what's going on in the chat. Let's see how you guys feel about it.
Yeah, let's see what's going on, man. George Rice says, love the pick. Now, online, first pick, maybe Ritter or Howe in the second. Linebacker in the third, go Steelers. I would love that. Ritter in the second would be amazing.
I think that'd be a steal.
That would be a hell of a steal.
And I really like Ritter, and I see a lot of Dak Prescott in him. I really do.
And again, quarterback is not ruled out this draft. It could be first round, could be second round, depending on where these other free agent quarterbacks go, where Deshaun Watson goes. I'm hearing he's visiting the Saints and the Panthers, I believe, and other teams. I don't know who those other teams are, but one of them I can tell you right now is not the Pittsburgh Steelers. All of that dream was already a dream in itself, but it's now never going to be a reality.
No, and I never expected it anyway.
Me neither. I was incredibly hopeful, but
I know you were, but I mean, the Steelers don't tend to do those moves, and I mean, it was a lot of baggage, and to trade a lot for him and that cap, I mean, that's a lot of baggage if you ask me.
Yeah,
it really would have been.
Steelers Country says this signing all but confirms the Steelers will focus their sights on the offensive line in the draft. I would hope so. I'm not ruling out quarterback, but I would hope so. I still hope that they make a splash at O-line since the guard/center pool is pretty stacked in free agency this year.
And it's wide open for the Steelers if you ask me.
Right.
It really is. Now, Ryan Jensen did go back to Tampa Bay last night because Tom Brady decided to change his mind.
Yeah, Brady's back.
So that fantasy and that dream basically died last night.
Think about this. We're about to get Mitchell Trubisky versus Tom Brady in Pittsburgh next year.
Wow.
In Mitch we trust.
Wow.
In Mitch we trust.
I completely forgot we faced Tampa Bay.
Yeah, speaking of which, Trubisky, there's no confirmation on what number he's going to wear, obviously, because it's so soon. I'd imagine it's going to be 10. How weird is it going to see number 10 at quarterback again?
Bro, I haven't seen number 10 since...
Probably Stewart.
Yeah,
Probably since Slash.
Well, quarterback, I mean, like, overall, I think.
Oh, overall?
From what I can remember is Martavis Bryant. So I wouldn't mind seeing number 10 on that offense again. I always liked number 10. I really did. That number holds a lot of prestige throughout the Steelers, if you ask me.
Let's see. Trubisky can be Watson's backup at Pittsburgh. We're not getting Watson, man. We're not getting Watson. Johnny says, if I were Rudolph, I would be pissed. I would not. I would welcome the competition. If I'm Rudolph, I'm expecting competition via free agency, via the draft.
And that's something Rudolph needs. Throughout his whole career, he hasn't really had competition, even as a backup.
No.
He's never had competition. He's basically been handed that opportunity. And I'm not for giving players and handing players starting opportunities. Look at Kendrick Green last year.
Right.
Center was wide open, and we had no competition for him.
Right.
We handed him the job, and he basically did nothing. I feel like Rudolph could have been that same scenario. I'm not for giving guys that opportunity. I want to get the best out of these guys. That's what I want to do.
Right.
That's what I want to see.
Let's see. K Smooth says Tomlin will never have a losing season. I do believe that. See, under Tomlin, and this is what fans have to realize, this season's not going to be a complete disaster. They're still going to remain within the 7th seed of the playoffs. They're still going to remain competitive. And adding Trubisky just confirms that and helps that because, like Trubisky or not, think of him how you will, he was also a member of why the Bears were still competitive. Now, their offense wasn't anything. That could be because of Nagy, but he did lead the Bears to 2 straight playoff runs.
Yeah.
So
in their most recent playoff run, as a matter of fact, from what I can remember, his last stretch of games as the Bears quarterback, I don't think Nagy was calling the plays, and Trubisky was actually playing lights out.
Right.
He was playing very good.
Now, I'm not expecting a similar situation here in Pittsburgh because I
of course
still
not.
don't trust Canada, but I think those two could, cautiously optimistic here, they could do wonders for themselves.
Potentially, I don't know.
Can he compete with the other 5-star quarterbacks in the AFC? Forget competing with Mason. Not important. We need to compete against the quarterback stars in the AFC. This team isn't close to that yet.
No, they're nowhere near close to that.
This signing just gives us more flexibility for free agency in the draft to fill everything around it first.
And that's the approach I would like the Steelers to do, that I think the Steelers are going to do now.
That's what they did. That's what they just did with the Trubisky signing.
That's what they need to do. We're not a star quarterback or a franchise quarterback away from being a contending team again.
No.
And going back to Watson, trading all those picks, you're basically sacrificing your franchise for one dude. For a season that would have been similar, maybe a little bit better, than last year.
Right. I see where you go with that. No matter what you think, want to describe this move, Cleveland's in more trouble. Cleveland's always in trouble.
Yeah, they just got rid of Landry.
I mean, they did trade for Cooper, but they're still going to have Baker quarterback, so. Aditi is reporting that Tomlin believes a great defense and a strong run game are the best antidote to reaching a quarterback who is not a franchise guy. The franchise guy was not available this year. Steelers country. Exactly.
And that's how we always were back when we didn't have a franchise guy.
That's how we succeed. Why do you think we went to the Super Bowl in 1995, I believe?
Yeah.
Super Bowl 30.
We had a strong running game, a great defense. That's why we went to the playoffs so many times with Bill Cowher before we got Ben. Hell, even in Ben's younger years, we were like that.
Yeah, before the Ben era started, we had Maddox and Stewart and all these guys, right? Tom Zach and Neil O'Donnell. We had a strong running game and a phenomenal defense to get us and keep us competitive. That's what we have now.
That's an old school type of NFL offense, a Steelers type of offense, and I'm up for bringing that back. I really am. Until we do find a franchise guy or a caliber starting enough guy like I feel like we have now.
That's what a lot of us have been preaching all offseason is sign a vet guy, preferably a guy like a Trubisky or Mariota with the pedigree and the experience and the leadership and the competitiveness that he brings to the team to keep this team competitive and to compete with Mason, just so we can focus on everything around and still entrust the defense and the running game.
Yeah.
And that's what we're going to get. That's what we're going to get. Do we still have our first-round pick in this year's draft? Yes. Yes.
Yeah, of course.
Rudolph will not be the starter. If Mitch plays well, he'll get an extension. If not, we draft a quarterback next year. Well, it's a 2-year deal, Robert. So he'll be under contract next year. This upcoming year and next year.
Yeah.
He's the only quarterback signed through 2023, which, again, I really like the 2-year deal.
Yeah.
He's a bridge guy, but depending on what we do at quarterback, whether that's drafting a guy this year or next year, it's still a guy that can come in and start immediately, and you be confident with that and help develop the young guy.
Yes.
Now we can build around him and have a great defense, says Jay. Underrated. Yeah. I don't know why the Steelers haven't cut Schobert yet.
That's actually a very good question, yeah. Like, why is Schobert still a part of this team?
Like, no, we could save $9 million cutting that dude and just draft a linebacker or sign a vet guy to pair with Bush.
Yeah, I really don't understand that, especially with the news of Steelers being interested in Bobby Wagner or possibly wanting to bring in one of Brian Flores' old developments at linebacker.
Right.
I don't get why Schobert's still here. That's still confusing to me.
Oh, shit. Brandon Sheriff's going to the Jags. Damn.
Oh, really?
Yep, breaking news, guys. Brandon Sheriff is going to the Jags, not the Bengals. I mean, that was already confirmed when they signed Alex Kappa, but
yeah, but I mean that's good for James Robinson.
That's good for
Lawrence. Good for Trevor Lawrence, yeah, or even Travis Etienne.
Who's their new head coach?
That's
right. It's Doug Peterson. All right.
Oh yeah.
All right,
shit.
Peterson. All right. Okay. I've been a Bears fan since 1985. Yeah, since 1985 and 86. So I love this move, but I live in Pittsburgh, Penn Hills. So, B Wicked is a Bears fan, so he's familiar with Trubisky. So, I think he firsthand can say how Trubisky was handled or how Trubisky was developed and everything between him and Nagy and how that offense lacked.
Just fell apart, really.
Because it's true that under a terrible coaching staff, no quarterback's going to succeed.
No, not at all. Not one bit. And Nagy, like I said, he never put his players in the best situations to succeed.
No, never.
Especially Allen Robinson last year. He did nothing, and the guy was basically healthy the whole season.
Yeah. Steelers Country says, sounds like Tomlin does not believe a franchise quarterback is available this year. That depends, man. That depends. I don't know, man. Have they even been to pro days yet?
I don't know.
Because there's been no news that they've been to pro days.
I don't know. We'll see.
Right.
We'll definitely see for sure. Then again, with free agency literally basically here, I mean, they're not going to want to go to pro days right now.
Right.
Want to get their guys in free agency and then focus on the draft for sure.
Right. Let's see. Cordell Stewart was number 10. He was. So was Antonio Holmes. So was Martavis Bryant. So now we're going to get a new number 10 in Pittsburgh, and it's going to be at quarterback this year. I don't know. Should I buy his jersey?
I wouldn't go that far.
I don't know, man.
I wouldn't go that far.
I don't know, man. I was a little too hyped when we signed him, so.
I wouldn't go that far. I mean, maybe see how he does this upcoming season.
I'm saying, imagine me having 3 number 10 jerseys in my collection. I already have Cordell. I already have Holmes. Why not get a Trubisky?
I'd rather you go after a Bryant.
No.
Why not? Bryant was great.
Bryant was great, and then he got high. The Steelers will be competitive 2022 if they fix the line and defensive holes. Yes, you're correct, which is what they should focus on now. They got the quarterback out the way. I'm not rolling out quarterback for the draft, but via free agency, they got to boost the line on both sides. They got to get another outside corner. If Edmonds leaves, he is testing free agency. If Edmonds leaves, then you need to get a vet safety to pair with Minka.
Oh, no doubt. And there's a good bid in free agency. There's a lot of guys I do like.
Jordan Whitehead is number 1 for sure.
Yes.
I think he would like to return to Pitt as well.
Yeah. I'd be comfortable with bringing Edmonds back, but if we were to get a Whitehead or a Reed, then I'd be satisfied with that even more.
Right. Jack Lambert 5858 says Ben was the OC last year. This season belongs to Canada, and there will be no excuses for Canada if the offense absolutely dips.
Exactly.
There will be no excuses. They have brought everything around to suit Canada.
Yeah, this is basically Matt Canada's show now.
They got a quarterback to fit his scheme now with Trubisky. They brought Friesman Jackson, who he has experience with from NC State, I believe. Same thing with the O-line coach, Pat Meyer, I believe.
Yeah.
I mean,
Matt Meyer, yeah.
you are literally entrusting Matt Canada. So if the offense completely dips next year, Canada's got to go. I'm cautiously optimistic about Canada.
Yeah, I mean, so they're really going to see how he does with a guy like Trubisky that basically fits Canada's mold of quarterback in today's generation of football.
Yeah. Jennifer Holiday says this is a good move, so when we draft Ritter, he can sit back and learn. And that's exactly what Ritter would have to do. In my opinion, that's what every single quarterback in this draft class would have to do. And that includes Pickett, that includes Willis.
Definitely.
All these quarterbacks are not immediate starters. They would have to sit. So if the Steelers do draft a quarterback, I'm a little more open to it if they build a line of free agency.
Which I fully expect. I mean, you got to. You do not band-aid the situation once again.
No.
Not for a second straight year. You go out your way, you spend your money, you get your guys. You have to.
Elephant asks, where do you think Watson ends up?
Deshaun, I'm thinking, honestly,
I'm thinking the Giants.
I'm thinking New Orleans.
Really?
I'm thinking New Orleans.
I mean, I know the Saints and the Panthers are meeting with them, but I see something secretly tells me that the Giants are going to swoop in. They got a whole new coaching core.
With DeBoer, I can honestly see it.
They have 2 first-rounders to trade. They got players they can trade away, including Daniel Jones or Saquon Barkley. They got ways to do it.
I think the Saints, because more than likely with that first pick, now they could go wide receiver to be on the opposite side of Michael Thomas when he comes back, but they need a quarterback.
Yep.
They could just simply trade that away plus other stuff because all they need is a quarterback because the whole roster is basically filled.
Yeah, exactly.
When you look at the Saints, all they need is quarterback. That's why I think New Orleans. But
yeah.
We'll see. It's definitely getting interesting.
Let's see. Z Smooth says, when did this happen? I'm just getting here. Anything else I missed? That happened about an hour ago. Literally an hour into the legal tampering period, the Steelers made an immediate move.
And as far as other news goes, I'm not really seeing anything. Outside of 49ers free agent guard Laken Tomlinson intends to sign with the New York Jets. I feel so sorry for him.
That's another guy I wanted. Yeah, these guards are going, like Alex G says, guards are going quick. Steelers better sign someone soon unless they plan on drafting one. And if I'm looking at it now with the addition of Trubisky, guard is probably the most available and probably the most valued option at 20.
As a matter of fact.
Because think of the guys who are going to be there. There's Kenyon Green. There's Zion Johnson. There could be a Tyler Linderbaum. He's a center. Maybe they move Green to guard.
Or maybe they go into day 2 and maybe an Ed Ingram or a Georgia guard, Jamari Slyer, I think
so, yeah.
He's not a bad option, but I'm thinking James Daniels in free agency.
James Daniels or Austin.
He's familiar with Mitchell Trubisky.
You're right. That's great to add.
And he's still young. He's got starting experience. He could still work his way up into being a solid option. And he is a solid option.
Either him or Corbett. Austin Corbett from the Rams is who I would really love. But James Daniels would be the most home run signing. That would be the true splash in free agency when it comes to the O-line.
Yeah.
I mean, it's rare to find a guy with so much experience but still so young and can literally be part of a rebuild.
And I can see the Steelers getting 2 guys, like one they already did with Mitch Trubisky, and getting another guy in James Daniels that did whatever the hell they could under Matt Nagy.
Right. Let's see. Oswaldo says, let's get Chad Muma in the draft. I would love Muma. He's probably my favorite linebacker in this class. I know there's guys ranked over him, and I'm not ranking Muma over a guy like a Devin Lloyd or a Nakobe Dean or guys like that, right? But Chad Muma is my favorite linebacker in this class. I would love him in the second or third, probably the second, because he's rising.
Yeah, his stock is rising. You may have to take him in the third if the Steelers don't do anything with linebacker.
Right.
So please cut Schobert, seriously.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sorry, but he has no impact.
Well, we can just he's easily replaceable.
He is. Like, dude, he does nothing.
There's guys in free agency. It's a stacked linebacker class this year. Why are we keeping Schobert? Because of that veteran aspect?
Well, I mean, like, thanks for getting that interception in the Titans game, but, please go.
Yeah, real shit.
Yeah, you're taking $10 million of our money.
Sean Manahan with a $5 super chat says maybe we can actually make a good playoff run this year. I don't know if we'll actually make the playoffs, but I know damn sure this team's going to remain competitive and remain in contention of that 7th seed. And that would be a success in my opinion next year. I'm not anticipating a lot. I'm not anticipating a playoff run or a deep playoff run at that.
Well, I'm not expecting like 10, 11, or 12 wins. I'm not expecting that at much. At best, I see maybe 9.
9 and 8 would be a success in my book.
Yeah, of course. I mean, it's a non-losing season. Well, that is if Tomlin goes 8 and 9, then that's his first losing season.
Right.
But at best, I see maybe 9. With the schedule that we got, to which it doesn't look that bad. If we fix a position that we got to fix and go with Trubisky, I see at most 9 wins.
Right. Steelers Country says, thank you, Steelers. I know Steelers fans are going to freak out, but I think Mitch Trubisky is a good bridge situation. Tough division, can go into the season with Rudolph and Haskins. And that was quoted by the beautiful Joy Taylor. And, I got to agree. I think Rudolph gets a lot of unnecessary bashing, but Trubisky is a better option than Rudolph. But the competition, I'm excited for in camp.
Yeah. It's what you had to bring in the quarterback group. That's what you had to do.
Yeah. Chaz Treat says, our newest smasher is Mitch Trubisky. Yeah, buddy, yeah. Your new daddy is Mitchell Trubisky. Ben handed the keys to Trubisky, man. That's what Ben just did. I mean, not really, but still. Let's see what's going on in the chat. Leedy is not a fan, man. He said, hashtag not my quarterback, hashtag get Trubisky off the team. You don't like Trubisky, man?
I mean, honestly, who would you rather go with, Trubisky or Rudolph? I mean, I know that's not really a good debate. I understand.
I would have been fine with Rudolph, but I really like Trubisky.
I know saying Trubisky is better than Rudolph ain't really saying much because Trubisky really ain't all that, but I don't really think he's as bad as a lot of people think he is.
No.
I think Trubisky's a solid fill-in bridge quarterback.
Well, like Ayers said, good to hear Trubisky possibly getting a second chance to prove himself. Hopefully use the draft to fix other holes on the team instead. Yeah, agreed, exactly. And I hope that's what this is going to allow the Steelers to do.
Yeah, of course.
Let's see what's in the chat. Watson is going to – is that confirmed, Country?
Wait, what do you say?
Steelers Country says Watson's going to the Panthers. Is that confirmed? I'm not on Twitter yet.
Well, I got NFL Network on the TV, but it's showing a commercial right now.
I strongly think the Giants are going to swoop in, man.
I'm not really hearing anything
as
of now.
Hey. Can we all agree that thank God it's not Jimmy G?
Yes. Thank God.
And people, I'm saying, is Jimmy G better than Trubisky? Would he have been a better solution than Trubisky? Maybe. Not for his asset, not for the assets we would have to give up, not for his $26 million cap hit.
All that money? Absolutely not.
Thank God it's not Jimmy G.
He ain't worth it.
That's the biggest win this offseason.
I'd rather go with Trubisky, dude.
That's the biggest win for me this offseason is the fact that Jimmy G is not the Steelers quarterback next year.
Yeah, really. All right, I'm seeing some news here on my feed. The Bengals, son of a bitch.
Who would they sign?
The Bengals are signing offensive lineman Ted Karras to a 3-year, $18 million deal. They are boosting that fucking line, dude.
That was one of the guys I wanted to play guard or center for this team, man.
And speaking of center, Ben Jones is staying with the Titans on a 2-year deal worth $14 million.
That's not news.
Ben Jones, that's your starting center.
That's the starting center, but that's not news for me.
But that's offensive line news, and yeah, like you said, offensive line is like really starting to go down.
I thought Ted Karras could have been a very nice, underrated signing for the Steelers, as well as because he has connections with Brian Flores when he was with the Patriots, and then he was with the Dolphins in 2020, then back with the Patriots last year. I think that would have been nice. Now the Bengals got him and Kappa. Damn, they ain't playing around. They're fixing their line. They're doing exactly what the Chiefs did last year. And this is before they can sign Terron Armstead, or before they do sign Terron Armstead, because I think that's where he's going.
Oh my God! Don't. Armstead, stay with the Saints. I'm telling you, stay with the Saints, especially if they get freaking Watson. I'm sorry. Steelers Country says I can see the Steelers trading Mason for more draft capital. Can you guys see that? I don't know. I mean, I'm not opposed. I'm not. Hey, my question is, who would be interested? Colts. Maybe. Colts, can we have your second round pick? Hey, Colts, can we have Or hey, Buffalo, you want a new backup? Hey, Colts, can we have Darius Leonard? Can we have DeForest Buckner? Can we have Julian Blackmon? I'm just saying. I think that's a fair trade, bro. Mason Rudolph's still a franchise quarterback. I'm just saying, bro. It's rare to find guys like that. So give us Darius Leonard, and we'll give you guys Mason Rudolph. I think that's a fair trade. How about you guys? Oh, jeez. I think that's very fair. That's not highway robbery whatsoever. I mean, the Steelers did have a first-round grade on Rudolph. That's something. They have 2 first-round graded guys, in their opinion. Trubisky was the former number 2 overall pick, bro. That pedigree speaks a lot of volumes for the Steelers.
And it's not going to be the last guy that they signed this free agency who had a first-round pedigree. That could be at receiver. That could be at O-line. That could be at corner. That could be at linebacker.
I strongly feel that way. I do. I think they signed another first-round pedigree type of player, offense or defense.
I would hope so, especially on the defense. They love their first-round guys on the defense. That could be a Rashaan Evans. That could be a what are the free agents?
I mean, they already got enough first-round guys on the defense. Cam Hayward, T.J. Watt, Minka Fitzpatrick, Tyson Alualu.
That could be a Stephon Gilmore. That could be an edge guy, right? Like a Tack McKinley, a Charles Harris, someone. Could be anybody, bro.
Maybe.
Man, Trubisky is a Steeler. How about that?
I know. I did not expect any news this early.
Not this early. Hell no.
Not this afternoon. Not one bit. I expected maybe Wednesday at least. I didn't expect today.
Right.
I'm glad Steelers are doing moves, especially at quarterback. The first move they do is quarterback.
Deuce says pair Channing Tindall or Quay Walker with Flores. I would love either of those guys.
Yes. Dude, Tindall with Flores, that's exciting.
Either of them. They're both great fucking weapons. Steelers fans love to freak out. I sat here and watching Duck Hodges win games for us. If you can't get behind Mitch Trubisky, you're out of your mind. Trust the process, says yeet. I agree.
Love the name, by the way. I mean, yeah, everyone, I mean, for God's sake, everybody rather have Duck Hodges than Mason Rudolph. I'm like, dude, Duck Hodges sucks. He's not even in the USFL, to which I strongly disagree. I feel like he should have been the quarterback for the freaking Pittsburgh team.
Yeah, the Maulers. Not Kyle Lauletta. That's not my quarterback. My quarterback would have been Duck Hodges.
Duck Hodges fits in the USFL, but the fact that he's not even there goes to show you what type of quarterback he really is.
Right. Although I still love Duck. He has a special place.
He's got that.
In my soul
he's got that charisma.
Because that 2019 season was wild. It was wild.
He's got that charisma, but he ain't no NFL quarterback.
No, he's not. Maurice Bryant. What's up, Reese? He says, wait to Mitch get a line. We going to have a different tone. I hope so. And
that's something. And man, you need, if you want any quarterback to really succeed, you gotta give him the tools. You really do.
Steelers Country says, look at it this way. Mitchell Trubisky will be better than 2021 Big Ben. Do not put that on Twitter. Let me tell you that right now. Don't put that on Steelers Twitter. But I don't disagree. I mean, it's a younger quarterback, a stronger arm, definitely more mobile. And he'll probably win us just as many games.
I mean, come to think of it, just about any other younger quarterback could have done better than last year's Ben, really.
That's just
no disrespect to Ben. I'm not trying to disrespect Ben.
Well, it's just Ben was aging. Like it was so obvious.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to have a 39-year-old aging quarterback. What do you expect the guy to do, really?
Right.
I don't know what the Steelers were thinking bringing him back, but, I mean, they kind of had to.
This is what Mitchell Trubisky said on Twitter. Adam Schefter tweeted, he said, I am beyond excited and blessed for the opportunity to be a part of the Pittsburgh Steelers organization. I have tremendous respect for the Rooney family and Coach Tomlin. They have built one of the best rosters in football, and I can't wait to contribute and help this team continue their success. That's my quarterback.
He's happy to be here. He's really happy to be here. It's a big opportunity.
I just love the fact, we got a guy that's young. He has the pedigree. He has a winning record. It's someone that can keep us competitive, and it's a best place for Trubisky because this is the best place for second chances. I've always said that about this team, especially this offseason, and that's why I vouch for a guy like Trubisky or Mariota. This was the best chance to get that one last shot to prove themselves.
Yeah.
And now Trubisky gets that. I don't think he's the future. He's not the successor. He's a very good bridge guy for this year.
Yeah.
And to help a young guy develop, whether that's drafting him this year or next year. But I really like it for a lot of reasons.
It works for us. It really does work for us.
It just makes a ton of sense for a numerous amount of reasons.
And what the Steelers are potentially trying to look to accomplish for the future.
I just want to know how much we paid
I know,
him.
because that amount hasn't come out yet.
I would anticipate it was more like a between a 5-10 year million per year deal.
I would say up to 10. I'd probably have to say that, maybe, considering, he was probably the best option. If he's the best option,
well, let me ask you, for all those people that didn't want Trubisky or that don't like the Trubisky edition, who would you run with? Who would you run with? I want to know that. Like, who would you guys run with? Because, I mean, the quarterbacks are lining up at 20 now with how many free agents there are still out there and the Watson trade still yet to happen. Quarterbacks could be lined up at 20. That's why I'm not ruling out quarterback this year in the draft, first round, second round, whatever. But
yeah,
who would you run with? Would you run with a rookie? Would you run with a $26 million man and Jimmy G? Would you run with Watson, which was never going to happen if we're being realistic. Would you run with Haskins and Rudolph, which I was not opposed to, but I wanted a vet guy to help compete, and that's what we got.
And Trubisky.
That is what we got, bro. Let's see, people are saying Watson, trade up and get Kenny Pickett. We don't have the capital to trade up, man. We only have 6 picks.
And the thing is, in free agency, I don't expect the Steelers to go out there and do like what the Patriots did last year and sign basically everybody to help fill the positions of need, like the Patriots did. I'm not expecting that, and you're not going to fix every position in free agency. You still need some money to sign your draft picks.
Right.
And if they don't fix every position in free agency, why would they trade some of that draft capital when they could use some of that draft capital to finalize those positions,
especially
for the
when,
offseason?
especially when they build via the draft. And we have such a limited draft capital this year. So
yeah, we only have 6 picks, I believe.
So trading any picks for anyone, even though I really wanted Watson, was just unrealistic. They're already bare enough with picks, honestly.
And I don't know if they really trade up for Pickett, because I'm hearing Pickett could fall to 20.
I wouldn't be surprised with how many quarterbacks are still in the free agency pool and the Watson trade still to happen. If I'm looking at it right now, you're looking at maybe the Giants. For sure the Panthers, but they're in the Watson trade. You got the Seahawks. You have the Saints, who are also in the Watson talks. You still have Mariota out there. You have all these other quarterbacks in the free agency pool, and Jimmy G still yet to be traded. I mean, what I'm trying to say is quarterbacks could be really lined up at 20.
They might be. I mean, as of right now, I mean, the only quarterback I see not being there is Malik Willis.
Yes.
His stock is definitely rising due to his potential, and he's got the most potential out of all the 5 main quarterbacks this upcoming draft.
Yeah, totally.
But as of right now, I don't see him being there. But depending on what happens in free agency, depending on what happens with Deshaun Watson or Jimmy G or whoever, it's kind of hard to see at least Malik Willis being there. Malik Willis has definitely been in discussion of potentially being the Steelers selection.
Of course. But I don't think he's going to be there.
As of now, I don't see it. I really don't.
I love this time of year. You know,
but this is the early stages of free agency.
But I love this time of year. Free agency, it's wild. You get all these breaking news. These initial reactions are always crazy.
Yeah,
you got more to come.
Out of nowhere trades, signings, releases, discussions. You know, this is exciting. It really is.
Oh, I love it. And there's still more to come, man.
Much more to come, dude. Much more to come for the next month.
Jets are signing Braxton Berrios to a 2-year deal. That's it.
Okay.
That is it. So nothing has been out yet. Nothing else outside of, Laken Tomlinson going to the Jets and what's his name? Brandon Sheriff going to the Jags and Ted Karras going to the Bengals. So hoping there'll be a little bit more, especially on the Steelers side. I'm still waiting for Keller Witherspoon to get resigned. That is rumored. Aditi Kikwala did say that a deal is close.
With Witherspoon.
With Witherspoon coming back to the Steelers. So fingers crossed.
And then they still got guys like Montravius Adams and maybe even Juju and guys that they could still cut or at least restructure for more cap space.
Oh, I want you guys to, I just seen this on Twitter. I want you guys to keep in mind, Mitchell Trubisky is the only quarterback who has started 50-plus games and has yet to throw a pick six in his career. I'm just saying.
Now watch the first pass be a pick six.
Shut up.
I mean, I swear to God, I'll laugh my ass off. I really would.
Okay, so now that we got Trubisky, now that we got a quarterback, and the legal tampering period is officially underway. It's been underway for about 2.5 hours now. All I ask for is now we got a solid quarterback to compete. All that I ask for is an outside corner, a safety if Evans were to leave, a second running back behind Najee, and of course a splash at O-line, or maybe a few splashes at O-line.
I have to agree.
That is all I ask for.
And maybe obtain some solid depth. If not for agency, for sure in the draft.
Yes.
For sure in the draft.
And that's defensive depth specifically.
Yeah.
D-line,
edge, linebacker maybe, or another corner or another safety, you know?
Something, bro. That's all I ask for. I don't ask for a lot because I'm not anticipating a lot.
And I'm not anticipating the Steelers to fix every position this year. It's going to take us time to get back to our old traits from like 5 some odd years ago.
Right.
But this is just a start.
This is just a start,
This is just a start of a reload. I wouldn't really... earlier, I said it was a rebuild. It's more of a reload when I come to think of it.
Yeah.
It's just the start of it.
Oh, man.
And we all got to be patient about this.
Do we build a line for Mitch or Najee?
Both.
Both. Ideally, both.
If Mitch is more likely going to be the quarterback, I mean, you got to give him protection. You don't want him running around all the time.
Hell no.
But for Najee, yeah, you need some holes open up for him instead of him breaking through those holes.
Jason Atkins says 181 days until week 1, but who's counting? 181 days to week 1, man.
Secretly me.
Yeah, sir. Yeah, secretly. B Wicked says, great content, Twins. Love the channel. New subscriber here. I appreciate that, Wicked.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Welcome to the channel. George Rice says, center first, Ritter second, linebacker, Georgia third, corner fourth, then receiver, running back. I wouldn't mind that. I'd put in a guard somewhere if they don't sign a guy. Maybe an extra safety, but I really like that.
Mm-hmm.
I really like that. For the 30th pick in the 2022 draft, the Steelers select Matt Corral, quarterback in University of Mississippi, a.k.a. Ole Miss. Not who I think they will draft, but that would be funny. Steelers' worst depth becomes the best. I wouldn't mind Corral.
And with the 30th pick, I mean, you're thinking the Steelers potentially trade back. And
that's something Colbert has never done.
Now, at least he hasn't done since, I want to say, when he drafted Casey Hampton all those years ago, about 20 years ago.
Right. But with us having, a lower amount of picks this year, it would be ideal. It would be ideal, and you could still get your guy. That's the only way Colbert would trade back, is the fact that he knows, hey, I can still get my guy and get more picks out of it. That's the most ideal situation, especially with all these positions wide open for the Steelers now, as of right now.
Yeah.
So, Steelers Country says, I know we're not rocking what Mason says, Ryan Clark. Ryan Clark did say that.
Yeah, he was never up for rocking with Mason.
A lot of people weren't. I was.
I would have been fine with it.
As long as we had a guy to compete with Mason. Because I don't want to gift him the job.
Yeah, if Mason won that battle, so be it. And he still could, but more than likely, I don't think he will.
Landon Goat says it was such a low-risk, high-reward move. I love it. Same, man. It has
and the Steelers always do those type of moves.
It has that Ryan Tannehill type vibe where that's best-case scenario, but it's just a bridge guy for now.
Mm-hmm, of course.
And I love that. Did the Browns, No, the Browns did not sign Allen Robinson. That was a fake account, and it totally trolled me. I got it.
I didn't see that.
Yeah, I fell for it.
I didn't see that.
I fell for it. It was Adam Schefter, fake account, and I totally fell for it.
And around this time, you're going to be seeing a lot of that on social media.
Of course.
I mean, you got faked out with Bryce Callahan last year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who's a free agent, by the way?
And that's a possible option. But with Millette back, I don't think we're really going to get him.
No. I'm hearing, we could sign another outside guy and put Sutton in the slot. I feel like with the Millette re-signing, this just ensures that Sutton's going to be an outside guy this year. But that shouldn't oppose the Steelers from signing another outside guy or drafting an outside guy.
Yeah, of course. But, they're obviously satisfied with Millette to an extent to give him a 2-year extension.
Millette and Norwood.
Yeah. I mean, we'll see. We'll see.
We shall see. We shall see. Packers also releasing offensive tackle Billy Turner, really. Wonder why I know they're under the cap. You see, what they're trying to do they're over the cap. I think they're over the cap. What they're trying to do is...
Well, paying A-Rod all that money, I would assume so.
Well, they're also trying to pay Devontae Adams because he said he's not playing on the tag.
That's right. Yep. So they had to get rid of Zadarius Smith, their best pass rusher.
Yeah, and that saved a lot of cap, and now releasing Billy Turner. Yeah. I think the Packers are really trying to extend Adams, and why wouldn't they?
Well, they extended Preston Smith,
a 4-year.
The other Smith guy.
I can totally see Adams getting something along the lines of 4-year, $120 million.
Oh, dude, he wants to reset the market, and I really don't blame him. Now, I don't think any player's really worth that much money, but Adams is so dependable.
Well, 120 might be too steep for a receiver, so maybe 105.
I know, nowadays these contracts are freaking outrageous, if you ask me.
I know.
These are like MLB and NBA type of quarterbacks. If you ask me, for 17 games when these guys are playing over 100 every year.
Yeah.
I just feel like the contracts are outrageous, but I guess we're in a new era.
Well, it's also it's a lower roster on the MLB and the NBA.
That is.
So
You're right. You're right.
Young boy says Jordan Davis at 20. I think he could be there. I don't know if he'll be a realistic option only because Tuitt is coming back. That's not confirmed, but it's been talked. And again, Aditi Kikawala on Twitter said that there's sources telling her that Tuitt wants to come back, and of course they're going to welcome him back.
Yeah.
So I don't think D-line is going to be a top pick early in the draft. I secretly hope they get a young stud with experience in free agency.
Mm-hmm. That's kind of what I'm hoping for. But I don't really see interior defensive line within at least the first 3 picks.
No, me neither. What do y'all think of Zadarius Smith? I think he's going to the Ravens.
Oh, don't say that.
Well, he's still a top pass rusher, and they need edge help.
Yeah, I know.
Justin Houston's a free agent.
I know.
They need edge depth.
I know.
And then that's going to only add flexibility for them to go center or corner.
I know.
Like a Linderbaum, an Andrew Booth, a Derek Stingley, and Ahmed Gardner. I'm just saying, I've been talking to shout-out to Flag Jarrett on Twitter about it.
Man, is it Darius Smith to the... I mean, then again, the Ravens always sign these top-name edge rushers or safeties or just these free agents in general.
All right.
So I can see it happening. I really can. Can you imagine Zadarius Smith in the Ravens? Or Zadarius Smith and Tyrann Mathieu to the Ravens, I mean. Ew.
Or Bobby Wagner.
Oh.
I don't know how much cap they have to work with, but I don't know, man.
Well, dude, I know they're trying to extend Lamar.
Well, that's not going to happen until before the season starts. After draft and everything.
I don't know what the Ravens do. Just don't sign an abundance of defensive name guys, please.
All right, TC Steele says Witherspoon just resigned. Is that confirmed?
Really?
Don't play with my emotions, man. First of all, the Jags.
The Jags are expected to sign former Cardinals wide receiver Christian Kirk to a large deal. That's actually a good that's a good sign by the Jaguars.
I expected that to happen.
That gives Trevor Lawrence a great target.
I expected that to happen. I'm not seeing anything on Witherspoon, but I know Kinkabala said something this morning that it's a closed deal, so that's all I can hope for. I was afraid that the Millette re-signing would force Witherspoon out. Thankfully, that's not the case. But it's not confirmed yet. But
Yeah, I'm not seeing anything right now.
Man, think about that, because now with Christian Kirk, this brings me to Juju. With Christian Kirk, he just signed a big deal with the Jags. I mean, what's this say about Juju? And now Jarvis Landry's in the pool?
Yeah, a lot of people...
So what's Juju's market?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people may not be looking at Juju. Don't forget Allen Robinson either.
Yeah, I mean, so what is Juju's market?
A lot of people may not be looking at Juju.
Well, he's going to have interest, but...
I mean, I don't...
By when I say market, obviously I mean cost. So
well, I know that. I don't deny that he may not get interest. There's other options. I don't know. Because last year, no one really... Not a lot of teams were interested. It was just basically the Ravens and the Chiefs.
Yeah, but that's also because the cap was a lot lower.
The cap was a lot lower.
Now they get $25 million extra added on, so... You know what I'm saying?
And I just see the same amount of teams or the same similar teams being interested in Juju.
Well, I know the Chiefs are interested.
I know Chiefs are still interested. I know the Eagles are interested. I would have to imagine the Ravens may still be interested as well.
Maybe.
I really don't know what's next for Juju. He may stay again.
I don't know, man.
But he wants a long-term deal. I don't know if the Steelers give him a long-term deal.
I'm just mentioning it because Christian Kirk's getting a big contract. Steelers Country says, hopefully this signing forces some off the Steelers train so that game tickets are available.
That's
Speaking of which, I know we're about to head to Pittsburgh next month for the draft. We got to talk about what game we're going to. Now, the schedule's not out yet, but we can still talk teams. Because we went to the Titans game last year, and that was just...
That was epic.
That was a joy.
I would like to go to a Sunday night game for sure, or a primetime game for sure. Definitely.
I would love a primetime game. Preferably like a Sunday night.
Yeah.
But think, because, with our schedule and all that, I don't know.
And we can make it work.
We could make it work. I don't know. Maybe get personal days or something. Chad says, what's up, SteelTwins? Are you guys happy about Mitch Trubisky signing? I am okay with it. I really adore this.
I like it a lot. I'm a fan of it.
I think this is a great signing, man, for a lot of good reasons. And yes, James Conner was signed with the Cardinals for 3 years. Good for Conner.
That is good for Conner. That comes no surprise to me. He's definitely earning of that contract.
He would have been stupid to leave Arizona.
They know how to use him perfectly. He fits their mold. He fits their style with Cliff Kingsbury.
Dude, I'm so happy for Conner. Steelers Bucks. All right, we'll make that happen. Steelers Bucks. Brady back, we got to make that game. You know what I'm saying?
Could be Brady's last year.
It will be. I don't know if it will be. I don't know anymore. I don't know anymore about Brady, man. But, hey, it could be his last time in Pittsburgh at Heinz. Yeah, we're making it happen. Steelers, Bucks.
Right.
It's happening.
I agree.
Although that's probably going to be very pricey just because it's the Bucks. But you know what? I don't give a shit. It's the Steelers. BC says, I'm not excited about Trubisky. We have a chance to get a generational quarterback in Watson. Let's grab him while we can. I would agree, but I don't know if they were ever interested, man. I don't know what to believe in reports. The whole, Watson situation, I don't know if they want to go through that again at the quarterback situation.
It's still, even although he's not facing criminal charges, he's still got a lot of baggage. And you're trading a lot of picks and having to suffer a lot of, a big cap hit.
I wouldn't have worried about the picks. But I can understand some of the undermining issues with trading for Watson.
Yeah.
Is their past experiences with that type of shit at the quarterback position and the fact he didn't play all last year. And the Steelers were very vocal about not drafting guys last year because they didn't play the 2020 season. So would they want a quarterback to start for them that didn't play last year?
Yeah. So I would have been fine with passing out on Watson. I still am. I really would have been.
Yeah. We'll see. Roger Saffold is going to Buffalo. I think it's a good fit for him.
Really?
Apparently.
Buffalo.
Let's see what's happening on Twitter. Any news?
Well,
the Eagles have agreed to terms with pass rusher Hassan Reddick.
Oh.
3-year, $45 million with $30 million guaranteed. They get their edge help.
Damn, that's a hell of a sign by the Eagles.
Yep. Very underrated pass rusher in the league, and Roger Saffold is signing with Buffalo.
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
No additional Steelers news yet, but that's the man. It's free agency is in full circle. Free agency is in full circle, ladies and gentlemen.
You can damn well bet while I'm at work, I'm keeping up to date with everything.
Yep.
I am keeping up to date with everything. Wow.
Yes, sir. God, I love this time of year. Holy hell, man.
Mm-hmm. Hey, it's free agency for you.
It's frenzy, guys. It's frenzy. Just what they do just watch what they do in the draft, then you will see, okay, I get it, says James. I'm not thrilled by the Trubisky signing, says Lauren. Why, Lauren?
I mean, everyone has their opinions. They have their feelings about it, and that's fine.
Yeah.
That's entirely fine. I'm cool with it. If you're not,
John Davis,
it is what it is, so.
Yeah, I mean, it is. John Davis says, love this pickup. Johnson says Panthers release AJ Boye. I did not hear about that. Really? With Gilmore as a free agent, they cut Boye?
Yeah, bro, all right, so they cut Boye, they could lose Gilmore, and they could lose Dante Jackson. The only cornerback they would have is J.C. Horn, who's coming off a injured season.
Right.
Injury-plagued season.
Well, I'd imagine their corner is going to be a top pick now with their 2 first round. Oh, no, with their...
Yeah, with their 6th pick.
With their 6th pick,
Their 6th pick.
So I don't know what the Panthers do, man. They could be trading, or they could be cutting cap for what's his name? Watson. So I don't know.
But if they don't get Watson, I would have to imagine they probably get maybe Garoppolo if they go for him, or just sign another free agent to compete with Darnold, although they exercise his 5th-year option, and maybe they go into the draft and go quarterback maybe still, but they could also go O-line.
I think they really need to go O-line.
Or get cornerback. Maybe they get Ahmed Gardner or Derek Stingley if he's there.
I don't know.
If these 3 corners are not with the Panthers anymore.
I don't know, man. I have no clue. Money Ray says, we went to playoffs with Bumburger. We should have went all in on Watson. Screw cap space. You need a good quarterback to compete in the AFC. I feel you guys, man. I really do.
Listen, I can understand that. I really could.
Steelers Country says, gotta love it. Gonna be a busy night for the website. Yes, it is, man. Yes, it is.
Shout out to Steelers Country.
More Steelers news coming out. Let me go to the website. I want to see how the website's looking.
SteelersCountry.com. Huge shout out to them.
I misspelled it.
Yeah, because you type too fast.
I'm a fake fan. I didn't spell Steelers right. There it is. Look at that gorgeous website. Let me get up here. Where's it at?
It's a tad bit
down.
There
we go. Yeah.
Shout out to Steelers Country, SteelersCountry.com.
Look at that. Steelers find a new quarterback, Mitch Trubisky. Why can't I? There we go. I got to click on it.
You can't hit Mitchell Trubisky. You got to hit the words.
Yes, sir. There it is. Breaking news. Mitch Trubisky is the quarterback. Next quarterback for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Yes, sir. All righty.
Look at that.
Beautiful website, man. Hell
yeah,
it's
a great website. Huge shout out to Steelers Country.
It's going to be a busy, busy night. That's for sure. Hopefully more news
It's been
comes
a busy month for sure.
It better be. B.J. Hill gets a three-year, $30 million deal with the Bengals. He stays. So they lose Larry Ogunjobi.
But they keep B.J. Hill.
That's a great re-sign.
They had to with Ogunjobi going to the Bears.
So someone that they traded for pretty cheaply, I believe.
And don't forget, they still got DJ Reader, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, so like their D-line stays intact.
Yeah,
they spending big. Hey, Bengals, bro. Yeah, Bengals going to win the North, bro. I'm telling you right now. Bengals going to win the North.
I can't disagree. They could go win the North again. They could go more than likely. I think they'll go back to the playoffs. They're not playing around, and I have to give the Bengals credit. I have to give them that.
Right.
They ain't playing around. They're fixing their line. They're keeping their D line intact. They franchise tag Jesse Bates. They're not playing around.
No, they're not.
I have to give the Bengals credit. I mean, screw them, but got to give them credit.
I mean, you just have to. You just have to. The free agent signings that they made last year, and then them building the defense around core guys like Logan Wilson and Jesse Bates, and now they're bringing in big free agents. Not too big free agents, actually. Just very underrated young linemen to build around Burrow.
Just get guys that are capable enough that can get the job done. That's all you need.
It's nasty, bro.
That's all you need.
It's nasty.
You don't need all-stars at every position.
No, you don't.
And that'd just be unfair if you ask me.
B.J. Hill's very underrated, dude. They got a nice young core guy there to pair alongside Reader.
Oh, yeah.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah, it's going to be tough, but it's a renewed rivalry with the Bengals, though.
Yes, it is, and I love it. Would y'all rather go splash O-line or cornerback? O-line. I want James Daniels. I want Austin Corbett. One of those two.
O-line for sure.
I wouldn't mind a vet guy if you draft someone to develop him in the mid rounds.
Yeah.
But I want a young core guy that you could totally build around and be part of the future of your O-line.
Of course.
SteelTwins, are the Steelers having a draft party this year? If so, what day? I don't know, man. They didn't have one last year. They obviously didn't have one for 2020 due to the COVID bullshit, but I don't know if they have one this year. I hope so.
I would really, really hope so.
That's one of the main reasons why we go to Pittsburgh every year is for that draft party at Heinz Field after the first 2 days on a Saturday. So I don't know if they do.
Maybe they have some restrictions, potentially. I would love for them to bring it back. I would love for them to do it again. I really would.
I just want to be in Heinz again.
Yeah, I love going to Heinz every time. Even just standing outside of it. I love going to Heinz. It's such a great site. It's it's so good to be in the presence.
I want to put in my interview, my audition for quarterback. Okay, I want to put in my audition for wide receiver. Because I think I fit more so as a receiver if I were to ever be a football player. But yeah, I want to put in my audition. I want to go to Heinz and just, maybe scouts are watching, looking for.
Well, you gotta get your feet wet in special teams, so try returning some kicks.
Okay, I can do that.
Give Ray ain't back yet, so maybe
I'll be Ryan Switzer, only 10 times better.
You won't be looking at birds. You won't be, backpedaling, 10 freaking yards.
Right. What is Ryan Switzer doing nowadays?
He's a Brown, I think.
Oh, he is.
A practice squad player.
Well, good for him. I'm glad he's finding success somewhere. And I mean that, truthfully.
Yeah, I'm glad Switzer's doing good. I really am.
David says, I like this. Considering what he did with Chicago, I think he can do good things with him. Or we can do good things with him. I agree. Do you see us getting Pickett, says John Davis. I'm not ruling it out. I'm not ruling the fact that he could be there.
Yeah, I'm not ruling anything out. Any position out. I'm not.
No, they're not.
I'm up for any position. I really am.
That's the great thing about this year. It's not all one firm position this year because there's many options.
Of course.
Anyone who wanted Rudolph to start don't know football. He plays without an ounce of confidence in his play. It's sad. Trubisky has confidence, a little swagger about him. Not going to disagree.
And you look back at his Twitter feed.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm sold. I was sold as soon as
it'll give you a chuckle.
I was sold as soon as I seen that tweet. I'm like, yep, sign him. I'm sold.
It'll give you a chuckle for sure.
Hope he works on his downfield passes. I do like that he's mobile, but we need downfield passing back on for the wide receivers we got. Yeah, I feel you there. But hey, maybe a year under Brian DeBull's system, that could do him wonders under a guy like Josh Allen.
Yeah, learning from him, being his backup. Maybe. I mean, we won't know until we see him start or see him play.
Yeah. But I love that we're giving him that second chance. Let's see. Nobody fears Trubisky. We are one of the softest teams in the league now. I disagree. I don't think we're that soft.
No.
Steelers Country says, yeah, Edmonds will likely be gone with the Steelers not picking up his 5th. I think that was more so of a cap issue just because it was too expensive at the time.
Yeah, and Edmonds wasn't worth that type of money.
No. I secretly do hope the Steelers do resign Edmonds because I don't know if they can land a guy like a Jordan Whitehead. I would love that. I would truly love that. Personally, Jordan Whitehead would be an upgrade over Edmonds. I just don't know if they land him. So,
and that's why I'm comfortable with resigning Edmonds, and I feel like Edmonds' development has actually been very good to see.
I'll take either. I will take either. But he's testing
and Edmonds wouldn't be that expensive. I would have to imagine he won't be that expensive.
That's why he's testing the market. See what his market is, and maybe we give him a contract. Otherwise, if a team's going to overpay him, then, hey, take him.
I think another reason is he probably want to stay because his brother got a future contract, Trey Edmonds.
Right. I could see that too.
And I don't know if Buffalo gives him an offer because they don't really need him.
Well, it's not a matter of fact that he go to play with Tremaine. Just a fact where he
About
probably
how
go
much
get the bag.
what his market is. Yeah, I'm just thinking, family could play a part of that.
Yeah.
Maybe. We'll see. I don't know.
Andrew Filipino is having a full meltdown on Twitter. He always is. Pony always is, man. He always is. What's he saying now? In fact, is there any other news on Twitter? He said Mitchell Trubisky has a chance to be the worst starting quarterback in Steelers history.
All right, no, stop. I don't even want to read
Yeah, I'll stop right there.
You ever heard of Duck Hodges? You ever heard of Landry Jones? Dennis Dixon?
Bubby Brister.
Come on.
Mike Tomczak.
Come on, dude. Jesus Christ.
Mark Malone.
You want to talk about just getting it? He's an attention seeker. That's what he is.
Wow.
That's what he's always been. He's always an attention seeker.
Really?
When it comes to these debates.
The worst starting quarterback in Steelers history. He won't come close to that. He's not that bad. He's not that bad. Holy shit. Christian Kirk's hitting $17 million a year? Really?
17?
These prices is too.
I was thinking maybe $12 million at least. 17.
So time out. Okay, time out. If he's getting 17, how much is Deontay going to get if the Steelers extend him? I'm saying.
That's a good point, dude.
$17 million a year for Christian Kirk. He doesn't even have a 1,000-yard season.
He was close last year because Hopkins and everyone else was getting hurt.
Wow, bro.
He had a productive season last year, but 17? Really? I was thinking something along the lines like 12. At most.
You notice the Jags always overpay players, specifically receivers.
And more than likely, I don't think DJ Chark's staying. I don't.
No?
So DJ Chark's another option to go in free agency, even after him getting injured. So you still got Allen Robinson, you got Jarvis Landry, you got DJ Chark still, all starting caliber guys, number one guys still. And then Juju, to which his market is basically questionable.
Right.
So it's like, wow.
Oh, true, Jason. Ken Graham. Yeah, how can I forget him?
Oh, boy. Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Oh, my
dear
dear
the
Lord.
worst starting quarterback in Steelers history. That's too excessive. That's too excessive. George Rice says this will go down as one of the best moves in a long time. This is a great signing and cheap enough to still build up the rest of the team, says George Rice. Yeah, exactly. It's just to give us flexibility, man. But it has potential, very cautiously optimistic upside. Steelers Country says Mitch hasn't even landed in Pittsburgh and the media are already starting. Like, give the guy a chance. Like, damn, bro. Like, some bitch. Trubisky is a more athletic Baker Mayfield. AFC quarterbacks are too good for us to not have an elite quarterback. # give me Watson, says BC.
If anything, Trubisky, he's just like a Baker Mayfield. Which, that's not saying much, but, when it comes to what the Steelers are trying to potentially try to do, that's fine.
I think he could be a better Baker.
You think?
Yeah.
Yeah. He's like that's what I was going to get to.
At least Trubisky doesn't always act under pressure. He's not perfect, but he doesn't always act under pressure. The second you lean on Baker,
he freaks out.
Fucking collapses.
He freaks out, yeah.
Mitch is a solid player. Because of his draft position, people think he's a total bust. Yeah, he was overhyped, but the Bears didn't do him any favors. Could thrive in Canada's offense, says Mill182. I love it, man.
And like we said, we're going to be very cautiously optimistic, but best case scenario, this could be another Ryan Tannehill type of story.
Yes.
Type of journey for Trubisky. This is a second chance for him. He's not that bad of a starter.
Right.
I never thought he was a overall horrible quarterback. I felt like he was a caliber guy.
Yeah, exactly.
I always did.
Yeah, wide receivers always get overpaid, Jay. Always. Fucking always. In fact, what are the richest contracts? Most paid wide receiver. What are the most richest contracts?
Well, Hopkins obviously leads that, but he's deserving of it if he can stay healthy.
Hopkins is, goddamn, 27 a year. And then Julio Jones, 22.
He can't stay healthy anymore, though.
No, he can't. Keenan Allen's at 20. Mike Williams just paid over. I have two $20 million receivers the Chargers do. Holy shit. Amari Cooper has over $20 million he's making this year. Mike Thomas is almost at 20. Chris Godwin under the tag's almost at 20.
He's another guy that could reset the market.
Right.
Him and Adams, really.
Good Lord. Imagine what Deontay Johnson could get. If it's anywhere between 15 or 18, that's a steal.
I'd be satisfied with that. I would.
That's a steal.
I'd be very satisfied with that.
Chad, don't say that. Please don't tell me it happened already.
What? Oh, no.
Yeah, we all know it's unfortunately inevitable, but don't tell me it happened already.
That's right.
The bad guy, Razor Ramon Scott Hall, is on life support and is soon to be taken off.
Yeah, and that's very tragic to hear. That's very tragic to hear. Like, you know, he was a big part of the Monday Night Wars back in the 90s with the WCW.
I didn't grow up watching Attitude Era like a lot of these other people had the pleasure of, and I'm jealous of you guys. I actually envy you guys because you guys had the pleasure of doing that. But I did watch Razor Ramon a lot as a kid. VHSs, DVDs, just on-demand stuff.
Seeing his matches with, Diesel and Shawn Michaels, the iconic ladder match at WrestleMania 10.
I remember watching how everything unfolded between him and the NWO and the start of that. It got me into it.
He was a big part of a lot of people's childhoods. And
then seeing him rise above, these demons he suffered the last couple years.
And DDP being a big help in that, helping him, continue his life. It's sad.
It's another legends about the,
Yeah, I know. It's more of our childhood is just.
It sucks.
Yeah.
It sucks, man. It really, really sucks. By the way, we had the pleasure of meeting DDP a few years back at a gym near us. Dude is such an amazing guy. We already know that because of DDP Yoga and him helping Jake Roberts and Razor Ramon and guys like that, right? He tried to help out Vader before Vader unfortunately passed. DDP in person is an incredibly genuine guy.
He's very open, too. Very, very open. Very genuine. Very great guy. Man.
Let's see. Elfin says, do you think that Cleveland Clowns are out of the Deshaun sweepstakes? Yes. I don't think that the Texans are going to trade within their division. Although it's ultimately Deshaun's decision. It's ultimately Watson's choice of where he wants to go. I think it's going to be more so of an NFC team that trades for him because they have more flexibility. They have more cap to do that.
Exactly. I see Watson definitely going out of the conference and going to an NFC team for sure. I really do.
Let's see where we at. Is anything happening on Twitter?
I'm
trying to refresh Twitter because anything can happen.
Not that I see.
It's I don't want to say dead, but it's quiet. It's quiet. I think that's the better word. Quiet. It's a quiet, small little break on Twitter as of right now.
We'll see.
This is another good discussion, says Jason. Would you trade for Fletcher Cox? Eagles wanted a third for him last year before Colbert said no before the deadline. I would.
For a guy that's aging but still good, Fletcher Cox is still a hell of a defensive lineman. Still one of the best.
His cap, okay, here's the thing. His cap is too much for not only us to take on, but for the Eagles to take on. If the Eagles were to release or trade Cox, they would suffer a $40 million dead cap hit.
Yeah.
That's a lot. That's among the tops in NFL history, I believe. Like, that's a whole lot.
Yeah, I mean, they gave Fletcher Cox a big contract to which he was deserving of.
So...
And because of that projected dead cap hit, the Eagles are going to win a lot.
And we can't afford that. And not for a guy who is still productive but is aging, someone we're going to have to replace in a couple years, and someone that's going to have to cost a lot of capital to acquire him because of what the Eagles would suffer.
Yeah.
I would not.
And if,
as a free agent, I'm totally picking him up.
As a free agent, I mean, I'd be up for it, but trading, I don't think so. And if Alu and Tua did tell the Steelers that they are coming back, they're definitely going to give them that opportunity to play and start.
Right.
So although they may be interested, I don't think they pull the trigger this time around.
Yeah.
I really don't.
Let's see what's in the chat. DDP got so many people back into shape. DDP is one of the most genuine human beings you'll ever meet, man. Let me tell you. Ethan says, I like the Trubisky signing, but I do hope we draft Kenny Pickett if he's there at 20. I've done a few moments, and each time he falls to 20. What do you think the Steelers will address next? I don't know. I would hope it's guard, specifically like a James Daniels or an Austin Corbett is one I'm seriously hoping for.
Yeah.
I'm hoping it's O-line, and it's somewhere on the line in general. I hope it's O-line, or it could be corner.
It could be some sort of news, whether we sign a guy or re-sign a guy.
Which will probably eventually, the next time we hear from the Steelers of any sort of news, I think it will be Witherspoon being resigned.
Yeah.
But in terms of free agency and them making a new addition, I hope it's O-line.
I would have to think it's O-line. You got your bridge quarterback for now. You just got to give him some protection. I would have to think it would be offensive line for sure.
Yeah.
But with the guys that's already, going to other teams or agreeing to sign with other teams, when it comes to the offensive line and free agency, they're greatly diminishing.
Right.
And the Steelers, I feel like they need to strike soon if they want to try to get a capable core guy for the offensive line.
Leedy says he will cost us 10-plus games in 2022. Mitchell Trubisky favorite target is the opposing defense. I disagree. 10-plus games is a little excessive.
I don't think the Steelers lose more than 10 games. Not under Mike Tomlin.
Not under Mike Tomlin, not under the defense, not under Najee, not under what should be a better O-line.
And I want to go back to 2019.
Yeah.
We went 8-8 with Mason and Duck.
And an offense that barely saw James Conner, barely saw Juju Smith-Schuster. James Washington, who I would imagine will get signed at some point, was our leading receiver.
But our defense basically carried that team. And our offense was able to do what they could and get enough points on the board to win. And our defense was able to contain other offenses.
The defense and Mike Tomlin helped us get an 8-8 record in 2019. Now we have a more significant offense, a better
running game
for sure.
Better, good enough targets.
So I'm not anticipating a losing season this year. It would obviously be Tomlin's first losing season, which, I mean, his first losing season would come after Ben, and think of that how you want.
But I'm not projecting a losing season. I'm projecting us to still be competitive and still have even barely a winning season, but I don't see Tomlin having a losing season.
Right.
I have to agree with Dan. I think with the moves that they still got to do, I still think that they will fight and be in contention for that number 7 seed next year.
Right. Elephant says, raise your hand if you hate the Cleveland Browns or Cleveland Clowns. God, excuse me. SteelTwins, raise your hand. Let's get them raising hand emojis in the chat if you hate the Cleveland Clowns. Even though they just got Amari Cooper.
They got Amari Cooper, but we swept y'all last year.
Lauren, you're right. Edmonds will test for agency. I'm curious to see how much teams are looking at him. You think?
I don't know what they do. I really don't know.
Well, that's why he's testing.
Yeah.
Von Miller will go back to Denver. Do you think he will? Yes, I do. I think he will.
I can see it. I really could.
Dante says a lot of Trubisky's poor performances was due to Nagy's system. I agree. You noticed how David Montgomery didn't do a goddamn thing until Nagy didn't have the playbook? Let's be real. As soon as Nagy stopped calling the plays, David Montgomery started showing out. And so did Trubisky.
At times, yeah, he did. Certain players under Nagy's system stuck out. That was Montgomery. Sometimes it was Robinson if he was healthy. And I would put Trubisky in that category. Nagy put nobody in the right position to succeed whatsoever.
No. And that's why he got fired. And where's he at now?
He's a quarterback coach with Kansas City. I think he went back to Kansas City. Because I think he was once with Kansas City before he took the Bears job. Now he's back.
That makes sense.
He backpedaled to Andy Reid. That's what he did.
He was under his coaching tree with Philly. That makes a ton of sense. And, of course, Kansas City. So
He failed to work out as a head coach, and he backpedaled to Andy Reid. And that's honestly what Matt Nagy should continue to do for now.
How did he win Coach of the Year? Think about that.
That's because of the hype from Khalil Mack, and now they don't have him. He went to the Chargers, which is kind of funny because Russell Wilson went to the Broncos, the Chargers' rival, and the Chargers said, you know what, fuck this. We're going to continue to have him be pressured like he was in his old division.
Right.
And they got Khalil Mack. So Russell Wilson, he's still going to be running. Even with a much better offensive line, he's still going to be running. Wow.
Emmanuel Ogbah got paid. 4 years, 65.4 with
Hey, he broke out last year. He did.
He's been a very quiet pass rusher for the Dolphins.
Yeah.
Him and Jalen Phillips are going to be a nice tandem.
Oh yeah.
They'll complement each other really well. So good for the Dolphins and the new head coach they got in Mike McDaniel. So
A young coach too.
good for them. Yeah, exactly. Good for them. Yeah, J.C. Jackson, Ramel would be the dream, but he's going to get paid. He's going to get top corner money. He might break the bank. If I'm being real with you.
Yeah, like as of now, I can't really think of what team he would want to go to, or what team could sign him. At least off the top of my head, I can't
Well,
think.
he's just probably going to go to the biggest offer.
And
ultimately.
that's how I can't really decide. You know, off the top of my head, I can't think of where he would go. I don't think it's going to be Pittsburgh.
I'm hearing the Chargers.
Ooh.
Him and Asante Samuel Jr. with Derwin James in the back. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. And you got Khalil Mack. You got Joey Bosa. You got Kenneth Murray on that front seven.
There's no way the Chargers would fail that.
They always find a way to fail something.
They're always the Los Angeles chokers.
They always find a way to fail something.
Phillip Rivers was always a choker, though.
Yes, he was.
Phillip Rivers was always a choker throughout the time he was the Chargers quarterback.
Yeah. Steelers Country says, look at us, Twins. We side by the team. People still have an issue with it. We can't win.
And listen, I don't know what certain guys are expecting or wanting. It's like
Everyone has their different expectations, and you have the right for that.
And I know some people have their different preferences.
But I think certain expectations ought to be, you got to lower it down to realistic expectations.
I mean, we are the Pittsburgh Steelers. You know,
It's still Kevin Colbert as the GM.
yeah, it's a once in a blue moon he goes out and makes an impact.
Yeah.
To which he still could. You know, it's still early. He very well still could make a big impact. That could be sometime in free agency. That could be in the draft. We don't know.
Ethan says, also was listening to one of the Steelers reporters, and she said that Mitch had his best season in a pre-snap motion offense. I'm more optimistic with Canada, but I hope the offense improves with Mitch. I did not know that.
Neither did I.
And we all know Canada adores that. Sometimes he overdoes it. So, yeah, okay. So that again, these two could...
I mean, they fit each other.
I'm saying they could, like, complement each other. They could feed off each other.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It's not a perfect pairing, but it's good for Canada.
It could work wonders for both.
I think it's enough.
I hope.
It could be enough for Canada, at least for now.
Right.
For now.
George Rice says, Steelers fans, calm down. We will do a lot better with Mitch. Y'all will love him by week 6. We shall see, man. We shall see. I'm cautiously optimistic about this. Again, as of right now, I see it nothing more than a bridge quarterback to help develop a young guy, whether we draft him this year, next year, but has some upside where it could not just be a bridge guy. But I'm a fan of it. I'm a big fan of it.
Yeah.
Ask Rob, man. I was marking out.
Mm-hmm. I'm not even kidding.
I jumped out my seat.
Oh, he's not even kidding.
I jumped out my seat. I started clapping. I started chanting, "Let's go!" I was hyped, bro. I was hyped. This is one of the few guys I wanted us to actually grab. I want Connor Williams. That will decide if we make moves in free agency. Connor Williams, man, he's an intriguing guy. He's a young guy. Obviously, was drafted by the Cowboys, but didn't find success. His backup, I think it was Connor McGovern, was actually more of a better success than he was. Thing with Connor Williams, the best thing about him is his youth.
He's still young, and he's got plenty of starting experience.
But he reminds me of Will Hernandez, who was drafted in the second round by the Giants a few years back. Very similar to, those two are very similar because they had a lot of hype coming out of college.
Yeah,
didn't obviously live up.
They didn't live up to expectations. I thought both of them were going to be fine pieces to both teams in the NFC East.
And they had some pretty poor grades in both run and pass blocking. So
I don't know if the Steelers really go out their way and get those type of guys when they're trying to fix, the offensive line.
Right.
Trying to get better at that.
I love the youth ability of them, but I don't know, man. I don't know. They've just been underwhelming. Where do you think Bo Melton will fall in the draft? I think he could be an early day 3 guy with his speed and the fact that he showed in the combine. He ran really well at the combine.
Bo Melton, I could see
Very early day 3.
I could see a possible 4th, maybe early 5th.
Right.
I think his stock has risen that much. He's intriguing. He really is.
If we go receiver, which I'm anticipating at some point, it could be day 2. In fact, I'm actually anticipating we will go receiver day 2. There's a lot of guys we could get. But if we want to wait, a 4th-round guy like Bo Melton would be a hell of a grab.
Yeah.
I love Ben, but nobody realizes how much he held Canada back. He was still running his own plays. Canada didn't really get a chance. That could go back and forth, man. It could have been Ben. It could have been Canada having limitations and not having the right personnel. We could also blame Canada because of his play calling, but that also could have been Ben. We will never know, because the one thing that will pretty much give some I guess backstory to your claim there, Jason, is the fact that it was still the same under Fichtner. There was no change when we changed OCs from Fichtner to Canada.
Yeah.
No change whatsoever. So you could be right. I don't know.
And not only that, but even when Ben wasn't in there, it was always the same game plan. You know, with whatever they were going to run with Ben, they ran with whoever.
Or even with
Rudolph
Mason.
Yeah.
Versus the Lions, it was the same bullshit.
Yeah.
So
even if they didn't have Ben, it was the same. So this upcoming season with Trubisky, it's really going to tell what type of coach, what type of OC Canada really is.
This is his make or break year for me. I'll give him one more chance.
I mean, this is his second chance, basically.
Yeah.
In his second year, it's his second chance to really show off what he can do.
They're completely all in on this guy. They got guys around him from previous experiences at NC State. They got a quarterback to fit his system. They're all in on Canada, so
They see something in him, obviously.
this is his make or break year, Canada. I'll say that. I will say that. Why are we consistently one of the worst offenses in the league? Well, we did have an aging quarterback. We didn't have a very good O-line.
Yeah, the offensive line diminished.
Hopefully that changes. We are already younger at quarterback.
I mean, if you get younger on the offense, I mean, it's going to be a lot more faster.
Fingers crossed we do build a line. I mean, we can only build a line, right? I hope so. There's no way they can Band-Aid it again or just completely ignore it. That would be hideous.
Mm-hmm.
That would be hideous. Allen says Trubisky is capable. This move means the long-term plan is to build the team around a serviceable guy. Has to be O-line, outside, corner, safety, and receiver. Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
Yam says bring in Bobby Wagner. I'd like that as a veteran aspect. Just don't overpay the guy.
His price range, I would have to expect it's going to be pretty high.
Yeah. Charles Coleman says, y'all think Mitch is starting over Mason? Yes. I think he beats Mason in the quarterback battle.
Yeah. No, I think no question.
Jags giving defensive tackle Foley Fatukasi 3-year, $30 million with $20 million guaranteed. I don't know who that is, but good for him.
I mean, the Jags are signing people. Doug Peterson's signing people. He's trying to help Lawrence.
Yeah.
I'll give him that. I mean, that's what you need for Lawrence.
Al Shaw says, I would love Marcus May over Edmonds. If Edmonds leaves and we can't get a guy like Whitehead or Justin Reed, a 1-year prove-it deal for Marcus May would be very nice.
Yeah. I like Marcus May a lot. I remember that play when we faced the Jets when Rudolph was starting. When he threw the ball, I think it was to James Washington. Marcus May just got his hand in there and made a great play.
Yep.
Prevented Washington from getting the touchdown.
Cam R. makes a great point, and I wish I could show this comment, but he makes a great point. Mitch Trubisky and Anthony Miller reunion.
Yeah, that's
something
right.
I totally forgot.
I keep forgetting Miller signed a futures contract with the Steelers. And maybe he gets that opportunity to be the number 3 receiver. He's got the size, he's got the talent, he's got the capability. This could be another chance for him to get that opportunity again. Maybe in a better system, a better offense, potentially.
I'd hope so. I mean, Anthony Miller, I still liked him a lot when he came out of college. I think he'd be a decent depth piece, so yeah, I like that. Good point, Cam.
That's a very good point.
Young _ Ragnar says with a 449, what is that? I'm not sure exactly what currency that is, but with a 449, he says, appreciate all you guys. Let's go Twins. I appreciate it, man.
I appreciate it. Thanks a lot.
Kenan, now you have a guy with some mobility. Son, step up your game, says Allen. Exactly. I wouldn't mind the Steelers going after Moses for our O-line. Morgan Moses, I'd like that. Nice veteran aspect, opposite of Dan Moore.
Yeah.
I think that's what the offense needs, a nice veteran aspect somewhere. I heard Honey Badger about to sign with the Raiders. Really? The Raiders. He's going to go to the rival Raiders.
Really? Let's see if there's any update, actually.
If Trubisky went to any other team, we would be laughing. But since he's with us, now all of a sudden he has a chance. If he would have, it was between the Giants or Steelers. If he went to the Giants, I think he could have had a chance to work out because his OC he worked under last year, Brian Dubal, is the Giants' head coach now.
Yeah.
So I think he could have done pretty well and helped bring competition to Daniel Jones. So,
Well, if he didn't sign with the Steelers, I wasn't going to laugh at all whatsoever.
I thought if he went somewhere where he would have gotten a second chance, like the Giants, like the Steelers,
Or the Colts or whatever.
I would have hoped for the best for him.
I'm like, all right, let's see how he does. You know, he took a year off. He's under a new offense, a new system. Let's see how he does.
I thought he looked really well in his last couple games, his last year actually, with Chicago. I thought the potential was still there.
And with him, with the Steelers, you know, it's really going to tell how he does when he doesn't have Nagy anymore.
Right.
But him performing when Nagy wasn't calling the offense, I mean, it kind of says something.
Yeah,
with him kind of performing a bit.
He might be free. He might be a little more free.
I don't know.
Anything happening on Twitter?
Again, cautiously optimistic about this guy, but as of now, it's a great signing as far as a bridge quarterback is concerned.
Right. There's nothing on Twitter.
I don't see any news.
There's nothing on Twitter. It's still pretty quiet. It's still pretty quiet.
What time is it? 3:13 Eastern. Okay.
Still pretty quiet.
Yeah, nothing yet. I definitely expect something to kind of hit tonight. I really do.
Something's going to happen. It could be Watson. It could be more Steelers news. Whatever's going to happen. I'm anticipating Witherspoon to be resigned by the end of the day. Maybe we'll make one more splash. I don't know. We shall see what happens. Free agency is officially underway. The legal tampering period is here, and thus we're already getting a lot of news with a lot more to come as it's stacked at receiver, it's stacked at guard, center, a lot of corner, of course, safety. I mean, we shall see what happens in every position the next couple of days.
Hey, this is just a start.
This is just a start, and the Steelers start off with a really, really good signing, in my opinion. Immediately grabbing a quarterback. They wasted no time.
I mean, they kind of had to. They really had to make sure that they got a caliber starting guy, and they do with Mitchell Trubisky, and I'm fine with that. I like it a lot.
Absolutely. But in our free time, I thought we had to talk about this, get our initial thoughts, and obviously talk with you guys about it since Mitchell Trubisky is a topic of discussion. And, boy, was this a hell of a discussion.
This is just a start, and let's see what the Steelers do continuing in free agency. But this was a lot of fun, dude.
This was a lot of fun. It'll be a lot of fun this whole week, man. The new league year starts Wednesday, and there's still going to be a lot more to come. It's going to be very fun the next week and a half, 2 weeks. And the draft is creeping up very quickly, actually. I don't know if I'm the only one that feels that way, but the draft is almost here, which is awesome. Because normally every year it drags. Now, it appears to me that this year is flying. It's already mid-March.
Yeah.
For fuck's sake. But anyway, guys, we're going to get on out of here. Enjoy the rest of our day before we got to get ready to go to hell, a.k.a. work. But you guys enjoy the rest of your day. And thanks for joining us. Thanks for chatting with us. Appreciate all you guys. And hopefully more news breaks out around the Steelers. We can get something out. Or maybe we just save it all for SteelTwins Saturday night. We shall see what happens. We shall see what the Steelers do. But you guys enjoy the rest of your day. Enjoy the rest of your week. And thanks for joining us. See you guys in the next one.
Like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you later. Peace! Trubisky. Welcome to Pittsburgh.
Man.